So today we're talking about expressing a quantity as a proportion, which is 4.11 in our textbooks. We need a bit more explanation as to what expressing a quantity as a proportion means. So sometimes we want to know the proportion of a certain quantity compared to another. So we can write this as a percentage, a fraction, or as a ratio. And I'm going to give you some examples of that now. But just quickly, so if we're looking at the Earth's surface, it's 70% ocean, and that means the rest of it is land at 30%, because 70 and 30 make up 100%. All right, so we could also write that as 30 parts to 70, and that's a ratio. Or we could write it as a fraction, being 30 out of 100. And obviously for the ocean would be 70 out of 100. Okay, so we're going to look at some examples of doing these different things, and we've already done this sort of thing before, so it's going to be pretty easy. We're going to just use our prior knowledge for this. Okay, so when we're expressing it as a proportion, we do that as a fraction and a percentage. So this question is asking us to express $40 out of a total of 200 as both a fraction and a percentage of the total. So what is $40 out of 200 as a fraction and also as a percentage? Now the fraction is pretty easy. All you have to do is write the amount and then the total. So it's 40 out of 200. So 40 out of 200. Now we have to simplify this down. So I know that 20 will go into both these numbers. So 20 will go into 40 2 times. 20 will go into 200 10 times. Now that is still not simplified. So I know that they're both even numbers, so 2 will go into both of those. So 2 into itself is 1, 2 into 10 is 5. So $40 out of $200 is actually 1/5 as a fraction. Now to work it out as a percentage, this will be one of the ones we should actually know automatically because we remember it from the other lesson, but I'll show you how to work it out if you don't actually know it automatically. So we use the fraction that we worked out, so 1/5. We multiply it by 100 over 1 to get the percentage. Remember, we've done this previously. All right. So we can simplify we're looking at our diagonals, we can actually simplify. 5 will go into 100 and 5 will go into itself. So 5 1s are 5 and 5 20s are 100. Therefore, it's 20 over 1, which is 20%. So we should have already known that 1/5 is 20%, but that's how you work it out if you don't know what the fraction equals. Okay, so we're going to do this one as well. So we're expressing this both as a fraction and a percentage. So you should know automatically that the fraction would be 24 out of 30. And of course we need to simplify that. So 6 4s are 24 and 6 5s are 30. So 24 out of 30 is 4/5 as a fraction. Now what is that as a percentage? Again, you should know this, but I'm going to work it out for you. Show you a way just in case you don't know how to work it out. Now we've done this in the previous example, 5 and 100. They can be simplified. We can cancel those out. So 5 1s, 5 20s are 100. So we know that 1/5 is 20%, so 4/5 would be 4 times 20, 80 over 1, which is 80%. Okay, pretty easy. Now, we can also use ratios. Now this is just takes a bit more brain power to work it out, but it's not too much more. You can do it. Alright, so a glass of cordial is 1 part syrup and 9 parts water. So we've got 1 part of it here is the syrup and the rest, the other 9 parts, is the water. Now don't get tricked here, because when it's going to ask you to write it as a fraction, it's not 1/9. The syrup is not 1/9 of the water, is it? It is 1/10, because there are 10 parts altogether. So you've got 1 part and 9 parts. So altogether there are 10 parts. And the syrup is 1/10 of that. So as a fraction, when we have to write the syrup as a fraction, it would be 1/10. And we can't simplify that any further, so that would be what we would write. Now if we wanted to write the water as a percentage, we just have to write the fraction first and then multiply it by 100 over 1. So it's 9/10. And again, this should be something that you already know how to work out, but I'm going to show you. So 9/10 times 100 over 1. And we can cancel these ones out, can't we? Because 10 will go into 100 and will go into itself. So 10 tens are 100. So 9 times 10 is 90 over 1, which equals 90%. Okay, so just don't forget, when you're looking at different parts of it, you need to add up all those parts to get the total number of parts when you're working with ratios. Alright, now it's your turn. I want you to express the proportion of $60 out of $80 out of 80 as a fraction and a percentage. So pause the video and do that. Okay, so let me do that. So obviously 60 out of $80 as a fraction is 60 over 80. So we know that 20 will go into both these. 3 20s are 60, 4 20s are 80, so it's 3/4. Now, you can tell me the percentage automatically, can't you? But we'll just work it out so we get practiced at it. Alright, and we obviously can cancel these again. So always look to see if you can cancel, then you don't have to multiply big numbers together. So 4 will go into 100, and so 4 will go into itself once, and it will go into 100 25 times. So 4 times 25 is 100. Now we need to multiply 3 25s, 75 over 1, and you already knew that it was 75%. Excellent, one more. Now, working with ratios here, a mix of concrete is made up of 1 part cement to 4 parts sand. What is the amount of sand as a fraction and a percentage of the mixture? Okay, so work that out yourself. Okay, I hope you remembered that it wasn't 1/4, it is because it's 5 parts altogether. So the cement would be 1/5 and the sand would be 4/5. So sand is 4/5 as a fraction. That's what it's asked us to do. It's asked us to write the amount of sand as a fraction, and we also need to write it as a percentage. So 4/5, we can work out what the percentage is by multiplying it by 100 over 1. Again, cancelling out. 5 ones are 5, 5 20s. 4 times 20 is 80. Equals 80%. Alright, these are pretty easy ones. Okay, so good luck with the working class. I'll see what you can do.